So Steven says I can't say anything during the first 30 seconds because I need to let people flow in. So we'll count together. 1, 2, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010, 2011, 2012, 2013. Hi, Tea Traveler. How's it going?
I mean, I'm refreshing and I haven't even seen it yet.
That's okay. Okay, so
That's okay.
yeah, today we're doing a blind tasting of a Chinese or Taiwanese oolong. And yeah, thanks for dealing with a little counting there. Just waiting for people to flow in. There we go. Yeah, that is a good idea, Steven. So hi, Tea Traveler. Hi, Espercard. TJ. How do you say it again? Bonjour. Bonjour, Jeremy. Life's film. How's it going? Oh my God, Steve with the... Is it Aztec or Mayan? Shue Xiao Te Chutli. 2017. That's our friend Steve from Vegas. Why do you have that kind of name? And Enrique from Brazil. How's it going? We're about to blind taste an oolong that we picked out from our stash here. Steven's picked it out. I have no idea what it is, and he refuses to let me know what it is until now.
Well, that's the point.
So yeah, that's the point. So you guys will be seeing this tea for the first time with me. I do know it's going to be a tea that I have in my possession, so it's not a tea that someone sent to us from far away that we don't know at all what it is. I have the advantage of knowing it's something I probably bought or picked up somewhere from a long time ago. So yeah, so Chinese or Taiwanese oolong, it won't be a Wuyi oolong. It can't be a baozong, right? We're only doing Chinese ball-rolled oolong, okay? Yeah. So I hope you guys are ready to blind taste with me. What I'd like to go over in this process is, number one, I don't know if I'll get it right or not, and that's okay. We're just trying to figure out if we can get it right, and even if we don't get it right, we're trying to practice some best practice tasting habits and ways to be able to kind of narrow it down a little bit. I'm sure we can get kind of close. And then we'll talk about oolong processing, we'll talk about lots of stuff, I bet. So many things can go into the identification of an unknown tea. And the best part is I don't know what it is. So I don't have any preconceived notions about how good or bad the tea is going to be. I do have my bias. I like oolong. I really like Chinese and Taiwanese ball-rolled oolongs. So, you know, we'll see where it goes. I do like Taiwan ball-rolled oolongs more. So maybe if I just like it immediately, it might be Taiwanese. We'll see. So I hope you guys are ready. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm armed here with the two pieces of teaware I know the most. A gaiwan and a large cup. I'm not going to use one of these guys today. We're not using a chahai today because I don't want to kind of change the flavor in the glass. I know that, you know, I know these pretty well, but still, I just want to go directly from the gaiwan to the cup to minimize the amount of material exchange or interaction. And that's just me. It works for me. If it doesn't work for you, that's fine. Okay, so Dizzy D86 and Eli Amelie, how's it going? Hi from Tokyo, konnichiwa. Thank you for joining us over here in Las Vegas. We're about to go start. So where is it? Where's the tea? Steven, yeah, I want it. He put it on the very top shelf that I can't reach. Haha! Okay, this is tea number 1. Can you guys tell what it is by looking at it immediately? I can't. So this is tea number 1. So let's start. I'm gonna preheat my teaware just to get them nice and primed. We want to get them sharp and ready to go. Again, I don't know what these teas are. I only know that what are in my collection, but you guys don't need to guess the brand, right? The brand's not important here. We're just trying to guess what this tea is. So it is a bald style oolong, okay? And it's probably going to be from China or Taiwan. I'm guessing it's either Anshi Tieguanyan or a Yunnan style Taiwan oolong or Taiwanese oolong, right? And I'm guessing it's probably Taiwan. Just from looking at the leaves. I'm making decisions right now pretty early, to be fair, because I just want to know if it's going to stack correctly. I can change my mind later, but the more I can pull just from the first look, the more of a benefit I have once it actually gets steeping. Because if I drink it, I'm like, I have no idea what the hell this is. I'm kind of lost. So if I can get some data from the very beginning, that would be dope. Okay. And then let's see. Amy, how's it going? Bonjour from Las Vegas. I'm Gabby. I'm not Gabby, you're Gabby. How's it going from the other side of Vegas? I think this is a Taiwanese oolong. Why it looks more Taiwanese to me, it's got the stems, okay? And it's less nuclear green. That's a really popular term for anxi oolong from China. You know how some of them are really, really bright green? We tried to adjust the lighting in this room to be pretty accurate to what I'm seeing. So I'm looking at what you guys are looking at, and it's pretty much the same. It's got a darker color to it, so it looks Taiwan to me. I'm seeing some hearts, so that means I'm on the right track. If you guys don't agree with me, think about what you think it is too. Maybe you've seen an anxi oolong that looks a little bit stemmy like this, or maybe you know it's Yunnan oolong. And by Yunnan oolong, Yunnan, you guys know, is where pu'er is from. In the past few years, I've seen a lot of different Taiwanese makers go to Yunnan to make Taiwan-style oolong. Kind of like, you know how we see Taiwan-style oolong coming from Vietnam and Thailand. They're also trying to do that in Yunnan. But let's keep it simple. For the most part, it's probably going to be Taiwan. Yeah? Maybe? I don't know. Okay. So it's a dry leaf, right? I'm gonna handle these balls. See how they feel like. And I like to kind of see what the tea leaves feel like in the hand, because there are a couple different things we can look at. The weight of them, this is a pretty hefty oolong. Steven, I hope you didn't give me one of Ai's teas. As many of, I know, no, don't tell me, but as many of you know, I have many tea teachers, but probably tea fam of tea fams is my teacher Ai Fang in Taiwan. She makes tea. What a jerk Steven would be if he gave me one of her teas and I don't know if it is or not. That made me think about her teas because these leaves are pretty heavy. And when they're heavy for their size, for me, that's a sign of good quality. So I think this is a pretty good Taiwanese oolong. Maybe it's High Mountain. And the reason why the heavier leaves are an indicator of higher quality is that the tea maker was able to lock a little bit more goodness inside of them, if that makes sense, you know? So yeah, when the next time you're handling some oolong, go handle those balls a little bit, funnel them a little bit, okay? Like just get to know what they feel like. Even if you don't know what you're looking for, at least you can try to get a pattern in, and then you'll notice once in a while there'll be an oolong that's exceptionally heavy or exceptionally light for what it looks like. So yeah, if any of y'all like picking fruit from the store, it's the same thing, right? They say you need to pick the fruit that's heavy for its size because there's more like action going on inside. And then one last thing for the dry leaf, I want to see how oily the tea leaves are. And that means that some of the goodness on the tea leaves has kind of like gone to the surface. I think those are, in Taiwan they call them like sugars on the surface of the leaf. I'm not sure if that's scientifically what they are, but when you roll oolong, that sticky kind of like sticky substance from the leaves comes out, and it usually makes the tea more easy to handle and also more flavorful, more sweet, more rich. So all that's happening, I think this is a pretty good oolong, probably Taiwanese. Okay, so just dry leaf, you know what I mean? Not bad. And then next thing, does anyone else have any other guesses so far? Or are we on the right track? TJ, if you think it's a pu'er, I mean, I don't even know how to spin it. If it's from Yunnan province, it's pu'er. RB Ceramics goodness equals oil filled. Yes, I'm talking about the tea oils, the compounds in the tea leaf. So stuff like High Mountain oolong will have more of that kind of goodness because of the way it's been processed and grown. And then I'm not gonna weigh this out. Steven gave me a scale as if I was gonna use a scale. I'm just kidding. You can use a scale if you want. But I typically eyeball my my tea leaves. So I'm not going to do anything different from how I usually prepare the tea here. Maybe just steep it a little bit harder later on, but this first steep, I want to just give it a flash rinse to get a preview of what's happening. I don't want to mess up from the very beginning. But number 2, from the dry leaf, we'll go now to the dry leaf inside the prime gaiwan. Again, my favorite part. I just really like this smell. I think it's more accurate to the tea than just the wet tea leaves. You guys first. How does it smell? It smells like a cell phone, I'm sure. Wow, that smells like it's Taiwanese. Although I've been fooled before. That smells very Taiwanese. It's got that buttery, butter aroma. Yeah, it's just great. Very rich, it does smell a little bit like Ai's Jade Mountain or Alishan. It's quite savory, quite buttery. It's not very floral, so I think that eliminates Anshi Teguanian, because Anshi Teguanian that's green like this tends to be pretty floral, you know, very orchidy, right? So Tea Traveler says should smell butter and greens. Yes, so very buttery, very savory, with a little bit of like that cloud butter thing going on that tells me it's probably a high mountain oolong. But I don't know. So for those of you who are like, hey, why is she trying to be smart all the way until now? Just drink the frickin' tea. One more time. It's because we need to extract as much data from the very beginning, because then once we get to the tea, we're kind of like, it's like a warm-up, right? Like you've gotten to the tea, you've thought about it. If the tea does not match what we've thought about so far, it's going to be obvious. You know, we're going to be like, oh shit, we got to revise what we thought about. That's why I want to kind of dig into it at the very beginning and then drink the tea, which is what the most important thing is. We can do fancy stuff with like the dry leaves, but most important is the taste, of course. Tea Traveler and some pineapple. I do get some kind of tropical vibes going on, so I like that. I am using around 90 degrees Celsius. Celsius, gang! I think it's around 90 degrees Celsius. 88 degrees Celsius. Something like that. I forget that 2 degrees is a big deal with Celsius, so I need to like bring that up a little bit. So I do want it to be pretty hot. But this first steep, we're not going to go too hot. I want to see where it is. So I don't rinse my oolong because I want to know what this tea is doing from the very beginning. No hiding anything. Okay. Jen from Tea Leaves and Tweet, how's it going? And Geoff, Lazy Literatus. It's been a while. How's it going? Okay. So it's 88 degrees Celsius, 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So don't worry, I won't abandon our Fahrenheit friends, but I would like you to come with me to the land of Celsius. You know, we might be the black sheep of the world in terms of many other things, but we don't have to be like that for Celsius. I think we can do this. So right now we're blind tasting this first oolong. Jeff, Jen, and all our other friends who've come in, this is the dry leaf. We think it's Taiwanese. I saw a lot of hearts going on. Yeah, it's an oolong. Or who knows, maybe it's a lightly oxidized black oolong that's been rolled. Kind of like the kind of thing that Jeff from Lazy Literatus would have anyway, so. Okay. This very, very first steep is very light. I did that on purpose. And that sugar water taste I get from a lot of Taiwan oolongs is coming out here. It is a little bit light for what I put in the cup. I wonder if it is my teacher's tea, because when I rinse her tea like this, it opens up a little bit faster. So I don't know. I'm overthinking it. I'm getting ahead of myself. At least we know it's a Taiwan oolong. I'm pretty sure. I should look at Steven's face. He doesn't have a good poker face. Is it Taiwan oolong, Steven? Is it? Is it Alishan? Is it Lishan? Is it Shanlin Shi? Is it no? Oh, I'm just gonna tell you when I'm done. Cool. Yeah, he didn't make any expressions. I think he's pretty close to making some expressions. So you don't what? Here you go. Okay, Dylan from T-Dragon, how's it going? And Dahlia David, hi from Las Vegas. We are drinking a blind tasting oolong thing. Mystery oolong, I don't know what it is yet. Yeah, even in this really, really light liquor, I mean, on screen it looks almost like water. That's so messed up, Jeremy. Even in the really, really light infusion here, it's very buttery, so I think it is Taiwan. If you're tasting a Chinese oolong, they tend to be kind of more flowery than the Taiwan oolong. So whenever something's more buttery and savory without as much orchid or florals going on, I tend to think it's Taiwan. There is a cultivar in Taiwan though that does read pretty floral, and that's Forever Spring, Sijishun. Sijichun, 4 Seasons Spring. And that thing tastes like flowers, like springtime in a cup. It's very floral, but that cultivar doesn't tend to be grown at high elevation, and it tends to be kind of weak. I don't think this is Sojichun. So, I mean, I don't think it's Sojichun anyway, but that's the Taiwan cultivar I think a lot of people mix up with Anshi Oolong. This is just not floral at all, so I don't think we're dealing with those. Stephanie, it's been a while. How's it going? Where in the world is Stephanie Jasmine right now? Conrad Production and Jeremy Lau, welcome to our blind tasting practice. We're on kind of the first kind of preview steep of this, I think, Taiwan Oolong. I'm not sure. Texture, very, very nice texture. Here's a dry leaf for you guys who just pop in. Texture is really satisfying, really full. Even if it looked really light, it's just coating. It's all there. I've drunk cheap black teas that have less texture than that, so that's pretty impressive. That reads to me like Taiwan too. Taiwan tends to have a really good texture in its oolongs. Now, something that is kind of throwing me off a little bit is our water formula this week is a little bit lighter than usual. So our water is light this week. We make our own water at home here in Las Vegas at the Tea Curious headquarters, which is my room. And we happen to make our water pretty light, so I need to adjust for that. This is why I really enjoy making my own water, because I'm aware that it's a factor. Maybe that's why it's a little bit lighter than usual. Ooh, that's surprising. A little bit of green smell. Green smell. That's new. Oh, that's weird. Wow, that changed a lot. It went from buttery to more green. What's going on? What is this tea? Weird. It's really light. Fuck. I should have adjusted the... I should have adjusted our water to the water that we usually use. This is like water that we make for green tea. This light water. It's around like 30 TDS. It's like Seattle water. Yeah, I'm not sure. Riot Talks of the World. I've just joined around 10 minutes ago. What time do you usually start? We started around 10 minutes ago, so I think you came in pretty early. We start on the hour, 3 p.m. PST. The replay is available for 24 hours on Instagram, but if you miss that as well, we have the replays on YouTube. But it's fun to be in here during so that you can kind of see what's going on, and a lot of the stuff that happens on chat kind of influences what I do too, because I tend to take input quite easily. I learn a lot from other people, so naturally the way I drink tea is the same way. Alote PR, how's it going from Las Vegas? Tea Traveler, maybe brew it a little bit hotter. Yeah, I brought it up a little bit. I think I want to brew it a little bit hotter too. I like to use boiling for my oolong. I think I can handle it, so I think we're safe. I am going to make it a little bit hotter. The hotter you can the hotter you can brew your tea, usually the better quality the tea is. I'm going to set it at 208 degrees Fahrenheit. Is that 100 degrees? No, that's like 97 degrees Celsius? 95 degrees Celsius? Maybe. Tea leaves and tweed sounds like what I got from the mountain stream Taiwan Wui. I have tasted that tea. A friend of ours, we did a blind tasting with that tea. I didn't get it right, even if I should have known, because my tea family is in that region that he gets that tea from, but I was a little bit off with that tasting. So don't think I'll get this right. I may or may not. Okay, I am drinking this a lot a lot slower than I thought. Maybe Steven can help me drink some. I'm a slow drinker. I like to sip. You guys sippers or chuggers? Some people sippers, some people chuggers. Okay. So as it cools down, some of that butteriness comes back. So I think it's still Taiwan. I'm not sure. Don't second guess yourself. This is like when you take a test. It's like, my first answer seems right, but I'll go back and review it and change it. You know? Kind of like that. TJ, and if we watch you live, I'll get to hear you speak French. I want to be able to say hello in French on live and introduce the tea in French on live. I think I'd like to learn how to do that for French. Maybe Italian, because I have a lot of Italian friends, you know. Maybe Portuguese, although Portuguese I hear is really hard. I can barely say it in Tagalog, which is where, you know, that's a Filipino language. There's no Filipino, kind of like Chinese. It's not Chinese. It's typically Mandarin. Whoa, did you see my cup just slide down? I wouldn't know how to say that in Tagalog. Tagalog's a complicated language when it comes to technical words, so I'm not sure. So, Rai Talks to the World, you're a friend of Cheryl from T-Evolution, I from the Philippines? I'm curious. It must be pretty late there, too. Or really early. Writing with T and Dottie Tran, how's it going? You guys do both. Some of you, Amy says, she says sipper. And then Tyler's over here too. How's it going? And you can help us. This is infusion number 3. Okay. So let's try to narrow it now. It's lighter than my teacher's tea. So maybe it's not hers. I'm gonna be so pissed if Steven made me drink her tea and I don't know what it is, because it is reading a little bit light today.
I'd love if I joined in.
Oh my god, she's sleeping. It's a good thing that she's sleeping. So, Tea Traveler, I'll do what you mentioned. I'm gonna hit it as hard as possible with some boiling water. If you don't usually brew your oolong at boiling, don't do this if you're starting to blind taste for the first time. The best thing for you to do when you're blind tasting, even for fun, you know, it's not really a real life situation where you'll be blind tasting tea, but it's fun. It develops your kind of tasting skills, your deductive tasting in the wine world. They even have this list of qualities you have to look for to help you match what it is. And even if we don't have that chart in the tea world, I think it's good for us to practice kind of systematically going down the list. Not to be a snob, but because it's really fun to be able to appreciate those small qualities in the tea and maybe match it for what it is. Because if you have like the variables controlled, if you know what your water's doing, teaware is controlled too, you can blind taste pretty well. I sucked hard the last blind tasting, but typically when we do our blind tastings at the tea club, I'm maybe at around like 50 to 70%, I'd say, Steven. Right? 50, 70. It's not even close to 100%, but maybe like at least half I'll get correct. You know? And it's fun. Okay. Yeah, this tea... I think it's too green to be my teacher's tea. I think it's a high mountain oolong, that, or like a really like light dongding. So some dongding is really light like this. It does have some of that body that a dongding has. Like dongding to me is kind of tricky because it tastes low elevation and it tastes high elevation at the same time. This doesn't have as much expansive texture because some like the really high mountain oolongs, when you drink them, they go they go, you know, like they just explode, and it feels like a cloud like burst into your mouth. This one feels like a small cloud burst in my mouth, but not a really, really big one. So maybe it's dongding, because it also has some more depth. Oh man, Steven likes dongding too. And a lot of dongding is roasted, but some of it is not. This might be a non-roasted dongding. Man, so this now shows me a weakness in my tasting. I haven't done a lot of side-by-sides of high mountain with unroasted dongding, and I can't tell the difference as easily. I know there's some elevation on this tea. I don't think it's like a low elevation, low grade, like really cheap oolong. I think it's something a little bit better than that, but It's all TJ's fault for voting Steven. You cursed me. Tabanak. Hi to friends Victor Sommelier, Sonia Ferrer, and Serene Ticha. How's it going? We're on step 4 of this blind tasting of what I think is either a unroasted dongding or a high mountain oolong. I'm trying to figure out which one it is now. There's still the possibility that it is a Yunnan made oolong, but it doesn't have the Yunnan kind of... Yunnan's a little bit more spicy. I have had some Taiwanese made oolongs that are in Yunnan, but like, you know, I don't think this is it. So we'll just eliminate that. So I'm not overthinking. I'm an overthinker, so let's focus, right? I think it's Taiwan. There's some of that like kind of fruity, a little bit pineapple-y, a little bit like peachy thing going on, which tells me Taiwan again. I don't think it's Alishan. I think it's not warm enough to be Alishan. I think it might be Dongding or Shanlinshi, something like that. It is a little bit puddingy. I wonder if that's Hehuanshan. Look at Steven. He's laughing. Did I get it right? We do have Hehuanshan from Floating Leaves tea, and that tea has like an egg pudding note to me. A lot of High Mountain does too, though. Okay. Is there anything else I'm missing that I should be looking for, you guys? I feel like I'm not... Man. So Dongding, Shanlinshi, maybe Lishan? Yeah. I don't think it's Shanlinshi, actually. I feel like Shanlinshi, which is one of the Taiwanese high mountains, is not as fruity as this. It tends to have more of like a foresty kind of vibe to it. I don't think it's Jade Mountain, because it tends to have a kind of like... Jade Mountain tastes different. I don't think it's Jade Mountain. God save me if this is Jade Mountain, because I brewed that tea, as many of you know, for last year's tea brewing competition here in Vegas. If I can't even recognize a tea I brewed like 10 bazillion times, I should just quit. But no, I'll just keep going. It's okay. So I'll say this infusion number 6 over here. This is infusion 5. I'm not drinking fast enough. Color, even when we're boiling it, is really light. And yeah, it's a little bit light on the texture too. Maybe it's Dongding. Let's take a look at the leaves really quick. They look like High Mountain Oolong leaves. They could be Dongding though. Some Dongding looks like this. They're really big. Look at these fatties. Oh my god, they're huge. Wow. I wonder if this is a Jinxuan. It looks like Jinxuan. So, Jinxuan, hey, I know you all some oolong nerds over there. Help me out here. This cultivar stuff's hard. Doesn't Jinxuan have this kind of jagged leaf, you know? I think this is Jinxuan and the leaves are huge. So I think this is Jinxuan. Anyone? Cultivars, right? They look like Jinxuan leaves. Jinxuan is the cultivar used to make milk oolong. This isn't super creamy, but sometimes High Mountain Jinxuan doesn't read as creamy. It reads more kind of like this. A little bit light on the texture, not that complex, but good, but not super not super explosively complex. It's a little bit light, it's a little bit thin, and to me, Qingxin tends to be a little bit more bold than this, a little bit more interesting. This one's good, but it's a little bit, I think it's Jinxuan. Actually, yeah, I think it's Jinxuan now. I don't know if it's because I'm associating it to what I'm seeing. The human mind's so interesting. I think it's Jinxuan. Look at how big these leaves are. I mean, come on. And compared to, even like the smaller leaf sets tend to be pretty big too. Even compared to other high mountain oolongs, which tend to have big leaves, Jinxuan tends to have bigger leaves, more round leaves. Maybe. We'll see. I hope you guys are having fun. I'm not. I don't like being wrong, even if I knew I'd be putting myself in the position of being wrong. It's not my favorite thing to do.
How did I pass the test?
How did I pass the test? Steven says. I said, look for the feeling of the tea.
You haven't said a word about that yet.
Okay, so we haven't said a word about the feeling of the tea. This tea makes me feel happy, but you guys make me feel happy, so I'm not sure if that's because we're having fun together or because, you know, this is a happy tea. Gong Culture and J2G Creative, Jalmik and Silva, how's it going? You're dropping in on a blind tasting we're doing. Yeah, let's sit back and think about the feeling.
Or if the feeling is familiar, or...
The feeling is not familiar to me. It doesn't feel familiar. No, I feel like I've had a tea similar to this before, but it's not a tea that I have all the time. I feel like I had it like a long time ago. It does feel like Jinxuan to me. It's very friendly, kind of soft, kind of creamy, a little thin. It's not excessively creamy, you know? Okay, yeah. What else can we kind of figure out about it? Another thing you can do with the leaves is to see how much they yield to your fingertips. Let's give them a squish. And when you're doing this, you're testing to see how well the leaves have been withered. These leaves are pretty tough. Yeah, they're pretty tough. I think they're high mountain tea, actually, because high mountain tea tends to be this soft when you're lower down the leaf. So if you guys have a psalm or something, you know, see the leaves, yeah? When you have a psalm, try to get a leaf this big and then like do the thing. And of course it's gonna be oxidized, so it's gonna be a little bit tougher. But you're not gonna be able to get that same softness. Even like bancha, if you get like a big leaf, lower grade Japanese tea, they don't have the same softness to them. And when stuff grows at high elevation, it's soft. Look, I mean, look, we're rolling it and it's going. So this was made relatively well. I think it's a really well made tea. I think the leaves are a little bit too light colored to be my teacher's tea. God save me if I don't know if it's her tea. Okay. Jeremy, I'm supposed to be friends with you, but you can be friends with Steven if you want. Henrique, you can be my friend, right? Who voted for Steven in here and who voted for me? I should have looked at the poll before we started, but I didn't want to psych myself out or something. Shiloh, how's it going? Hey, do you know what these leaves look like? Don't they look like Jinxuan leaves?
You're stalling.
I'm not stalling, I'm just... They're big, they are really big. Okay, this is very warming too. That's interesting. It certainly doesn't make me feel uncomfortable. But it feels too creamy to be iced tea. I think this is a Jinxuan. Maybe from Alishan, now that it might be Jinxuan. Jinxuan. Alishan Jinxuan. Yeah, as I'm letting this tea cool, so we did boiling water, and then we let it cool down a little bit, because I keep talking, and I am not a chugger, I'm a sipper. Tendencies are, it's getting more creamy. Oh my god, people vote for Steven. He has an easy job. He just has to pick two. And he had a hard time doing it too. He's like, I wonder which one I'm gonna get. I wonder. I'm like, just pick one, dude.
You want to finalize?
Are we coming up on 30 minutes already?
We're past it.
Are you serious? You know, in the wine world, I wish our friend Gabriel was here, or any number of our wine drinking friends. In the wine drinking world, for the sommelier test, I think they make you blind taste a bunch of wines, and you only have like 10 to 20 minutes or something like that. I mean, we're not going to spend 30 minutes on one, so I'm slow, but I'm enjoying myself. Okay, I think it's High Mountain. I think it's Jinchuan. I'm gonna go with Alishan Jinchuan. So the mountain Alishan, it's from Taiwan. I think we can solidify Taiwan. Let's go down to Taiwan, and then let's go location. I think it's Alishan. Alishan usually is a little bit more savory, but considering our water is light today, and Jinchuan tends to be a little bit light, I think Alishan Jinchuan works for me. Jinchuan is the type of tea plant, really famous in Taiwan. You guys have drunk it a lot as part of milk oolong. It's also known as like golden lily. Yeah, and then Nuev Erden Shiloh says, is it more creamy or milky? It's more milky to me. It's very soft. It's not rich and overwhelmingly creamy, which to me that happens when it's a really, really, really exceptional Alishan Jingxin, you know, or really, 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 really good Jinchuan. Like exceptionally good Jinchuan. And then let's try to guess the season. I think it's a winter. It's not explosively flowery, but note, I think a lot of the people who sell Taiwanese tea will note something like, oh, spring is more aromatic and winter is more textural. But it depends on the place and it depends on the year, because global climate change has been so up and down lately that sometimes spring tea will taste like winter tea and vice versa. So it's a little bit more difficult to tell. I think it reads to me more like winter though. It's more soft. It's more laid back. It's not so explosive. So I'm thinking it's winter. So I'm going to say Alishan Jinchuan winter. High Mountain Oolong from Taiwan. And yeah, everyone who comes in just now, Marker from Steep Tea. Does this look like Jinchuan to you? For the big leaves with jagged edges, which to me looks like Jinchuan. I don't think it's a blend of cultivars. It just tends to not happen very much in Taiwan compared to places like Yunnan. Let's do one more thing and get all the leaves out. Hey, Camellia sinensis people from France. I mean, like Canadian French land, Quebec. These are from Camellia sinensis, by the way. Where are the? Oh, these ones don't have a logo, but these are from Camellia sinensis. They're one of my favorite cups ever. They're like a Gaiwan size, so that makes me really happy. Okay, Henrique, thank you for voting for me. I feel like I might have to apologize. Sorry for voting for me. One last look before we move on, because Steven's trying to win. The more time I have with this, the more likely I am to win. It doesn't look like Dongding. The leaves look too big, right? So let's X that. They smell not too explosive. There's a little bit of florality there. Yeah. Man, I'm not sure about the Alishan pick. How do we know if I won or not? Do I have to be that specific? What if I get the season wrong? What if I get the cultivar wrong? How deep do we have to go? So, how deep do I have to go to get it right? To be considered right? I had to get everything right?
No. I don't know.
How about either location or cultivar correct?
Okay.
So I have to get the place right. Taiwan or China. I need to get the type. Like if it's Dongding, no. If it's like Alishan, Jinchuan, and it's spring, I think that's okay.
Okay.
Is that okay with you guys? Is that fair?
Did you say spring or did you say
I say
winter?
it's winter.
Okay.
I said it was winter. And if it's like an Alishan Jingshin winter, I think it's okay. And if it's a Lishan Jinshuan winter, it's okay. Only one thing has to be different.
So what's your final guess?
What's our final guess? Taiwanese, high mountain from Alishan. I think it's Jinshuan. Can I just stop it there? Let's not talk about the season.
Okay.
And then the year, I don't think it's fresh. I mean, we tend to blind taste pu'ers a lot and we'll do a range, but it's a little bit different with oolong. I think, yeah, unless it's something distinctively aged. I don't think it's super old. It's probably like from the last like 3 to 5 years, but vacuum sealed, you know, will make it taste the same. So I have some extremely expert people who are saying Alishan is a good guess. So if you voted against me and voted for Steven, you're voting against Gia from Lazy Literatus, you're voting against Shiloh from No Order, and you're voting against Henrique. Okay? Don't vote against that guy. Okay. You want me to guess the vendor?
Yeah.
I think it's Taiwan Tea Crafts.
Okay.
So I'm saying Taiwan Tea Crafts because I remember having a Jinshuan from them that I loved and was kind of like this. So let's hear it.
It's a Qingshan.
No! Okay, let's keep going.
It's 2014.
Okay.
Xianglanqi.
Man, I got it wrong. I got it wrong, Zos. Yeah. So it's from Tea Masters. It's a high mountain Qingxin from Shanlinxi. It's 6 years old from spring.
It's a spring harvest too.
So I got Taiwan, high mountain, and that's it. God damn it. Yeah, it didn't read as Shanlinxi to me. I'm so sorry. It didn't read as Alishan Qingxin to me. But at least we're not at least we didn't say Dongding. You know what? I should have thought more about Shanlinxi because it did have some like Dongding like qualities, and Dongding is close to Shanlinxi. They tend to have a lot of similar notes because a lot of the people who do work in Dongding actually went up into Shanlinxi to start making tea there. So they have a lot of similarities in like the approach and stuff. Versus like Lishan. Lishan's pretty far away from all the other mountains, so that's why the taste there is quite different. Not just because of the location, but because of the like microculture that's there too. I hate that you asked me how you got me excited because you asked me to name the vendor. I thought maybe you would go close. Man. So now let's think. Why did I think these were why did I think they were Jinshuan? They're not jaggedy enough. I always get that wrong. I always get excited when something looks jaggedy and then it's not Jinshuan. I think, and I should have said this out loud. I was thinking it's not round enough. So I should have dumped all the leaves out and really looked at them, because if it's Qingshin, it's going to be a little bit longer. If it's Jinshuan, it's going to be a little bit more like flat and round. So, yeah. And for the record, even in Taiwan and in China, I'll like pick a leaf set and ask the farmer, hey, which cultivar is this? And they're like, I don't know. It looks like Shuishan, but I'm not sure. So cultivar's hard. And I think if I gave it to someone who's, you know, really well versed in it, they would probably be able to guess it 90% of the time. But I've seen that 10% of the time, even really experienced tea people, I'll blind taste them, they'll still get the cultivar wrong. I'm not saying it's me. I'm saying like the upper people, you know. I live in the middle world. Oh, Jeremy, you can go run off with Steven into your happy, like, correct tea people world. Man. Okay. What else could have told us this was Shanlinxi? I don't know, actually. It didn't read to me like Shanlinxi. I guess this just means we need to keep tasting. I haven't had a lot of Shanlinxi over the last couple years. So now, this is nice. It's exposing a weakness in my tasting. I've been having a lot of Alishan, a lot of Jade Mountain, quite a bit of Lishan. Shanxi used to be my favorite. It's the name of my Wi-Fi on my phone. It's the name of my Blizzard account, but I didn't, yeah. Okay, I need to win the next one for us to go to tiebreaker if I'm gonna win at all. So, okay, Steven, let's do the next one. Not bad, Taiwan, High Mountain. It's not right, but at least it's not like Yunnan oolong, right? Okay. This is really good. I actually want to bowl brew these for later. You want to do that?
Okay.
Help me put in a bowl. It's good stuff.
It's in a bowl.
No! I want to use that bowl for like more drinking too. Hope you guys are doing okay. I'm sorry I let you down. Enrique and Shiloh and Geoff. Man, I feel bad. Feels bad. But no, I'm just kidding. If you're able to get that close, I think it's pretty, you know, High Mountain's hard. And real talk, I'm not just trying to excuse myself here. I really did wish I could taste a little bit better. But when it comes to like spring versus Shaninshi versus Alishan, a lot of the times people are underestimating the influence of the tea maker on that specific batch. I find that the tea maker has a huge impact, so that sometimes if it's a tea maker making tea from two different mountains, those are going to be more similar than tea from the same mountain. So there's that too. That's why blind tasting is so tricky when it comes to tea, because you have so many factors going on. But you know, with time, maybe in a year we'll be able to do this and get the High Mountain right, or maybe next week if I practice enough. We got lots of time, right? Quarantine time. But thanks for believing in me. We got the second tea now. Ooh. Ooh, look at this, guys. I think I know. I have a feeling I know what it is. Steven's not here. Should I look at the bag while he left the room? I'm just kidding. I'm not like that. Before we get started, Charlotte, I want to read your comment. I had some very milky and creamy Shanlinshi. Usually the verdant and refreshing notes give it away. It was quite verdant and refreshing, but it wasn't as foresty as I usually have it. I tend that Shanlinshi tends to have a kind of foresty note to it. But maybe because it's been resting so long, it's kind of like mellowed out a little bit. It's a 6-year-old Shanlinshi. It's from spring, so you know it's reading as a little bit more mild, but it is from Tea Masters, and he tends to have pretty more like smooth and less explosively aromatic teas from what I've seen. So there's that too. Okay, next one. You guys ready?
And he speaks French, so.
Oh yeah, he does speak French. So maybe that's why Jeremy just knew. You know, he's rooting for
he's not rooting
French,
for me.
the French-speaking world.
He's voting for Stefan.
Stefan? Did you hear this kid? He just called him Stefan. Stefan, right? Stefan from Tea Masters.
At the end. I don't know. I've never met him.
You've read his name though. Oh my Jesus. Okay. So I can't believe you called him Stefan.
We come in all shapes and sizes.
Me too. Maybe he is Stefan. Can someone who's French speaking
He's not a Steven, I know that much.
How do you say Stefan's name from Tea Masters? I think it's Stefan. Okay. Serious tea time. We always have serious tea time anyway. This is the next tea. I'm gonna try to show you the dry leaf as much as possible. Because look at this thing. It's kind of old looking, doesn't it? Look kind of old? It doesn't look like it's roasted. It looks like it's a green oolong that's gotten oxidized over time. Yeah, so it's green. Don't be fooled into looking, you know, it might be like, it looks like it's a fresh roasted tea in some ways, but it's telling me that it's aged because some of it is turning red at the edges, and that looks to me like it's been aged. The red at the edges is kind of like a sign of oxidation. And then I think I know what this tea is already just by looking at it. But maybe not. We'll see. This has small leaves. I think it's not the high quality of an oolong. Look how tiny the leaves are compared to the high mountain. Let's compare balls right now. Piece, piece. So very different. This one's a little bit more oily, and then this one's a little bit more dry. So this tells me it's probably an older oolong, slightly lower quality, and yeah, it's a little bit more crunchy looking. You can even hear it in the way it kind of reacts in the cup. I mean, I guess I can't really express that through the audio, but it just has that kind of, it's been sitting somewhere for a while aspect to it. So I think it's old, and I think it's Taiwan. There's not much smell to it. Ooh, actually wait. There's a smell to it. There's like a fruitiness to it. Yeah, okay. Alright. There's a fruitiness to it that it only picked up after I started smelling it really hard. Okay. Now that Jeremy's gone, maybe I'll actually do well. Thank you so much for joining us. And then RB Ceramics and Amy said I probably got it right. Stephane is not correct. Stephane sounds like some kind of like fire extinguisher brand. Methane. Stephane.
Well, you didn't know Stefan existed.
Stefan? I knew Stefan existed.
Well,
it's okay.
I told you that earlier.
Hi sister, how's it going? From literally down the road. And Delphine. Oh, we traded one person who probably voted against me for another from French Canada. Delphine, who did you vote for on the poll right before this live went live? Seems like a lot of people voted for Steven. I would probably vote for Steven too. He has the easier job. So yes, this is mystery tea number 2. If I don't get this right, Steven just wins. But if I get this right, we go to tiebreaker. So we'll see. I'm sure Steven wants me to lose this, so we don't have to do another hour of live session. But that's okay. I don't care. I don't care. So preheating the gaiwan using a vessel I know really well. We'll use pretty hot water from the very beginning here. And yeah, you can see the stems are kind of like littered throughout. It's not a very even tea. It reminds me a little bit of like what aged tea looks like. A lot of the aged teas from like the 1990s, 1980s, even like early 2000s are kind of like this. It was a little bit more in vogue to remove stems back then, which to me tells me it's Taiwan. I don't think it's Anchi Oolong, but who knows? We'll see. I think my first instinct is that it's an aged Taiwan Oolong from like the 90s or early 2000s. Yeah, a little bit fruity, a little bit musty. It's been aged for sure. All right. The initial smell from the gaiwan is fruity. It's got like a really, really ripe yellow peach thing going on. Steven's trying to waste my time. Sweet, not that grassy. Yeah, it's got some aged smell going on to it too, almost like raisin, but not quite raisin, just a little bit fermenty and old. And one more time, we are seeing some red edges happening. I wish I could show this a little bit better. After the stream, I will post a picture on both Discord and Instagram to try to show you. You can kind of see the red tint going on with this oolong. It started out green, but because of age, I think it's becoming oxidized slightly over time. You can see this for any tea you leave out in the sun for a couple of months in like a glass container. It has its same reddish tint going on. Our old Dragon Well also had that reddish tint going on. Okay. Let's go! Round 2. 1 and 0. More like 0 and 1, because I'm my team. Whatever, Steven. You have the easy job. You just gotta pick tea. How's it going on your side of the world, the globe, the universe? And Delphine, yes, if it wasn't obvious, it is our mystery tea number 2. The first one was not an Aleishan Jinchuan winter harvest like I thought it was. It was a Shanlinshi spring harvest Qingxin. So, yeah. Ugh. Confidence re. I think that's a pretty good guess. I'm not gonna say it was a bad guess. It could have been better, but that first round was okay. Like, I'll take it. I didn't get bested too bad. Just a couple variables that I should have looked at a little bit better, you know? Alright. What? What's so funny?
Charlotte.
Not raisins. It's not raisins. Okay. Yeah, so this color looks like aged green oolong. See this color? It's not as dark as a roasty tea would be. It's not as bright orange as a freshly roasted tea would be either. It's got kind of like the green tint, but also that red tint going on. It's a little bit of a ambiguous color, you know? I think that's what it is. No raisins, thank God. Ooh, that's better tasting than I thought it would be, to be honest. It's very sweet. It's very textural. It's very full-bodied. I like it. I like it. It's got that twinge of aged tea taste going on. I don't think it's a fresh roasted tea. There's no roasty taste to it. You know when you have like a really fresh roasted Tigonian or a freshly roasted Dongding, it's very fiery. You can taste the fire taste. That charcoal taste almost. Nothing here. Very sweet. Oh, and then before we keep drinking, there's that peachy, fruity aftertaste. Tasty. Nice. I like it a lot. Now, I think I know what this tea is, but what will reveal this tea to me is how long it lasts. Because if I think I know what this tea is good at the very beginning, but it kind of dies down at the end. So I need to make a couple infusions of these. A lot of complexity in the taste though, coming from the age, I think. Very sweet, like really sweet. Okay, help me finish this, Steven.
Happily.
Got some like baked notes in there. Got a little bit of spice. A lot of stuff going on. I like it. Okay, next infusion. So, let's see. Steven's miming to me that we have just 4 minutes left.
No, it's 4 o'clock.
It's 4 o'clock right now. Okay. We're gonna probably have to hop to another live session. So if you're gonna go and continue blind tasting with us.
We started at what, 4:10?
Yeah, we started at like 4:05. I mean 3:05.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're gonna join us, you have to join us in the next live. But that's okay, right? Tea takes time, and I'm having fun. Alright, really quick. Let's do a flash steep on this. It's getting a lot of color on it. Wow. It's opening up a little bit. And then I think on the wet leaves, I'll be able to show you a little bit better what I mean by the oxidized taste. I mean, with the oxidized leaves. Let's see if I can get a good color on this. Yes. See how it's kind of green, but also kind of red at the same time? Yeah. There we go. There's some brown leaves and there's some green leaves there. And that's uneven processing, but also age. Combination of both. And then the leaves are kind of cut up, which to me often tells me it's an aged oolong from Taiwan, because a lot of the time the aged stuff is the stuff that was left behind. Like the good stuff was drunk up already. So I think this is like an unintentionally aged oolong. Not a fantastic one by grade, but because it's so old, it's developed some complexity. We'll see. Yeah, so it's already dropped a little bit in flavor. I know that was a flash steep, but usually that second steep should still have some character to it. It's lost a little bit of it. Okay, we have the timer going on already. I'm going to restart the live. I'll see you on the second live, which hopefully will become longer than we thought because I will beat him this round and we'll go to round 3. And if not, then I guess we're making dinner early. We'll see. See you in a little bit, okay? Okay, welcome to our blind tasting where we'll be doing 2 different mystery teas because we're starting over because I want to win, right? Can we just start over, Steven? So I can have my point back? It's okay. Welcome to part 2 of the same blind tasting. I can't undo what's already been done, but we can keep going with what's to come. This is mystery tea number 2 that Steven has picked out from our stash of Chinese or Taiwanese oolongs. I'm not sure what it is yet. I think it's a Taiwanese aged oolong, but hang out with us and see if you can figure out what it is. On the first round, I got it wrong, even if other people have, you know, agreed with me. It's just Steven's just trying to trick us. It's okay. Give me your energy. I hope I can get this right. Shite Chutley, is that better? Steve, how's it going? Amy, welcome back. Sploop, hello. Thanks for splooping in. Delphine, welcome back. Shiloh, welcome back. And Henrique, welcome back. And RB Ceramics, welcome back. I have the Camellia Sinensis spirit with me, you know what I mean? Which means if this is not effective, then we're not doing it right. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so this is still a little bit weak compared to what I thought it would be. I have a feeling this tea will drop off in taste. If it does, I think I know which one it is. Are you guys still on the same page as me with this guess? I don't think it's Anshi Tiguanyin. There's a possibility, but I don't think it is. What do you guys think? I don't know what Anshi Tiguanyin that's been aged since 2000 looks like. I have some aged Anshi Tiguanyin, but they don't tend to look like this. They tend to be a little bit higher quality if they've survived that long, and they're not as soft. This one's quite soft, which reminds me of Taiwan. I don't know. Yeah. Let's see some unfurled leaves. Here you go, Shiloh. I will leaf it to you. Yeah? So I'll pull these out later on. I don't want to take them out of the guy one right now, but we will pull them later on and actually take the time to look through all the leaves so we don't make the first round's mistake. Okay. Very tasty though, extremely sweet. There is that fermented taste to it, but not too fermenty, so I don't think it's older than 90s or thousands. Some of the really, really old Taiwanese oolong has an almost like plum taste. It's not quite there. This one's more like baking spices and a little bit of, you know, vanilla, and it's good. Nice and sweet. I don't think it's super high quality though. So if this tea starts dropping off as we keep steeping it out, we'll maybe know what it is. You can kind of tell the quality of a tea by how many infusions it gets through. I forgot who used this term. I think it was Delphine who used generosity. I like that term better than my term I use, which is endurance or stamina. It's like the tea's like, you know, but I think generosity is a nicer term. I like it better. Unless the tea's beating me, in which case it's endurance and I don't have enough. Dakota Soul, welcome to our tasting. Mika Carly, Sarah Wood, and Christine. Tea Master Christine, welcome to our tasting. Hey Christine, you should have been here when we did the first tasting. Maybe you would have told me to look closer at the leaves because I got it wrong. Christine is a nationally acclaimed tea mixologist, so I try to ask for her advice a lot. Championship tea brewer. Wow. It's actually fun to do these in a group, by the way. Even if you don't have a in-person group when you're tasting tea, a lot of us have a lot of the same teas from the same vendors. So look for people who have a tea that you like, or even a similar tea that's not even from the same vendor. And you can kind of try to see if you can work through these blind guesses, maybe even trade blind samples with each other. It's just a cool exercise to help you think about the tea a little bit more critically, kind of chop it up and look at all the different qualities of the tea. It's not to be douchey about it, just for fun. I really do have a lot of fun with these, even if I get them wrong. But of course I have more fun when I get them right. And let me know what you guys are drinking. Maybe it's a mystery as well, but I hope not, because I'm trying to get you to help me with this one. Sweet, 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 sweet. It's not changing very much from infusion to infusion, which also tells me it's a relatively basic oolong. You know, it doesn't tend to change very much. And then Shiloh, let's take a look at the leaves together. Claudia, how's it going? Nice to see you. It's been a while too. Ooh, that's weird. Look at these leaves. Look how thin that is. It's like paper thin. I could rip it apart, but I'm not going to. Look how pale that is. That is as pale as it looks like in real life. I don't know what's wrong with this leaf here. It's just so thin. Yeah, like this poor tea leaf has been through so much. And we did this thing earlier where we kind of pressed through it to see how well the leaves held up. And it's kind of falling apart in my hands. You can see? Can you see it falling apart? Versus this Shanlin Shi from earlier. When we were pressing the leaves, it wasn't doing anything but just yielding, you know? So high quality, good processing there. This one is either like low quality leaves or bad processing. Just not perfect, you know? So yeah, it fell apart. That's why we do this, okay? So it's not, I don't think it's a high mountain. Completely don't think it's a high mountain. If it is, I'll eat my shoe. Maybe. And if it is, I'll eat a shopware, not a shoe. Is it funny? I don't think it's funny. Sorry. So Shiloh, to answer your question, the leaf ridges are quite tiny. I don't think it's a Jinshuan. I don't know, actually. Let me look at it closer. Because the tea I think it is a Jinshuan. It's so pale. What's going on? Okay, we'll pick through the leaves later, I promise. RB Ceramics, I've had a 2006 Chigwani that had an obvious strawberry taste. Any berry aroma? Not really. No, not really. And if it's berries, it's not so much strawberry than it is like blueberry, but that's a stretch. There's not much berry aroma. It tastes more like stone fruit, like peaches, nectarine, plum thing going on. Which to me tastes a little bit more like Taiwan. Taiwan has a lot more of its stone fruit, I think. Just in general. Nothing I'm saying is like fact. Remember, we're just working through trying to use as much data as possible. So let's do infusion number 4. We're still using pretty hot water here. Let's see what it is in Celsius. It is, I'm cheating because I have a temperature setter here. 91 degrees Celsius is what we're using. And then Sarah Wood is about to start a Xingrenqiang. Nice, nice, nice. Oolong as well. Right? And see, Shiloh made the same stupid joke. I'm calling it stupid because it is a stupid joke. That's okay though. Dolly Sean, welcome back. And Tyler from Hakuna Matala, welcome back. 0 to 1 right now. Steven. Okay. Yeah, and it's kind of fading out. It's fading out. It's fading out a little bit. Yeah, it's not very interesting. It's one of those teas that, unlike the other tea, I'm getting a little bit bored because it tastes the same over and over and over again. There are no revelations. The tea is just kind of staying here to like channel Shoen and Noah. Like, where is the tea going? The tea is just here. It's not going anywhere. Let's smell it. Yeah, the tea is just staying here too. It's not going anywhere. So that kind of relates also to what I think it is. I think it's a lower grade oolong. The goodness of it is coming from the age rather than the objective quality of the tea, I think. God save me if it's something really good again. I can't stand any more of this. Being wrong sucks, but being wrong is fun. It means you can be less wrong next time, right? Yeah. Tyler, we are still on tea number 2. We might not have a tea number 3 if I don't get this one right. But if I do get this one right, we get to go to a tiebreaker. So either we go tea number 3, or me and Steven start cooking dinner early, or we get some more blog posts done. Photos. We'll see. Okay. So tea number 4. Same smell. It's fruity, sweet, not changing very much. And it's dropping off already. Hit it again. I want to see if it drops off some more on tea number 5. There's so many different ways you can use to try to identify an oolong. And I find that really, really good aged oolong can last a little bit more than this. This one is kind of not lasting that long. It's also hurting my stomach a little bit. Do you feel that? It's not my favorite tea. It tastes really good, but it's not the most comfortable. It's not the most complex. And it's hurting my stomach a little bit. So, I think I remember a tea that did this to me once. Steven's like, haha, Ree, you haven't even opened that package. I'm trying to see if Steven's face will betray any information again. No, he's so... he's so stoic. Shiloh says, making tea is a reminder to learn and to do better next time. I like that. Yes, I'd rather be right now, but that's short term, right? Being right, I've been right a lot, but then I forget that I've been right a lot. And it's the learning that is more exciting to me, I think. Of course, it's that, like, yes! Frigging, like, yeah! We won! Kind of feeling, but the extended, like, journey, I think, is more interesting to me. I don't mind being wrong. Okay, let's try, keep going, number 4. This is infusion number 4, right? Yeah, it's becoming boring. The color is quite nice, but it's becoming boring, and I'm kind of getting this dryness at the end. It's not making my stomach feel very good, which to me also adds up with the age taste. So what do I mean by my stomach not feeling good? Typically, when oolong makes your stomach not feel good, or even any tea, from what I understand, as a non-tea making expert, not expert, it's too much moisture still in the leaves, or too much moisture that came back into the leaves. Moisture, like wetness. So when the people on the farm pick the tea and then they start processing it, the tea gets withered. And oftentimes, the withering doesn't last long enough because they want to get the tea done. And that's why a lot of the greener oolong, or even green tea, which doesn't have a lot of the water removed, which is why it gets older, gets stale quicker, tends to stay in the leaves, and then it makes your stomach hurt. That's what I've learned from, my homies in Taiwan. It matches up with what I've observed over time, over many different kinds of tea styles. So that's what I believe, that's what I've observed. It might be different for you. And everyone has different body types, everyone senses tea a little bit different. But for me, if there's too much moisture in the tea, it makes my stomach hurt. That's why green tea makes my stomach hurt sometimes. This one makes my stomach hurt. Another reason why it might have extra moisture, going back to this tea, is that it's aged. And over time, when something's aging, even if it's dry at the beginning, moisture is coming back inside to those leaves. You can see that they've oxidized over time, and yeah, they might have picked up some extra moisture. They are pretty dry, but even just a tiny bit of extra moisture that we can't detect just by pressing might have been introduced to those leaves. And that's just me. Might be different for you. I've tasted oolong from the same farm that's been withered more and withered less. And the withered less one, meaning more moisture still left, was the one that made my stomach hurt. So that's the light bulb moment for me that I learned about this. And yeah, it could change over time, like everything I say. Maybe next year I'll be like, oh my god, remember, what day is it today? March 26th, when I said that one thing? What a dumbass. That was so wrong. Knowledge is evolving. No problem, All this to say, I think it's aged. Dakota Soul, I've had a few aged teas that have done that. It's a gamble sometimes. Sometimes they age into awesome complexity, and sometimes they taste musky and sad. Yeah, this one is kind of in the middle. It's sweet. It's got some nice flavor to it. I think it's something that's very appealing to taste at first. And then as you dive deep into it, it's not that interesting anymore. As I'm talking, trust me, I'm nervous about saying the wrong thing too. I'm nervous that this is a tea that my teacher made or a tea that I love that I posted about. And I'm like, oh my god, this is the best tea ever. What if I say this is shitty tea? It's gonna suck, but then so be it. This is why blind tasting is so awesome. You don't know what the tea is, so your preconceived notions can go away. So yeah, I just feel like this is a sexy tea that seems nice at the beginning, but then you don't want to get to know it more. We talk about this a lot in our stream. Sexy versus, you know, elegant, like deep tea. Sexy tea is like, you see the girl or the guy or they're both, I don't know, at the bar, they're like, wow, they're just gorgeous. I want to get to know them. You take that first sip and you're like, wow, like it's so sweet. It's so fragrant. It just comes onto you, right? And then maybe you turn the lights on or you get talking with them and then you get bored because you're like, wow, you look so good to look at, but you're really boring. Yeah, I felt like this tea, I bet if we rewind, my initial impression was like, wow, it's amazing. And it's now getting boring. Whereas the Shanlin Shi from earlier, I just kept wanting to brew it, you know. Now I'm just skipping infusions because I'm just like, I'm bored. It's not my favorite. If this happens to be a tea I actually like usually, then I'll just change my mind. I changed my mind a lot about tea, and at first I was like, it sucks having to contradict yourself. But like, life is full of contradictions, tea is full of contradictions, stuff changes. It's okay. The sooner you become comfortable with that and about being wrong and having to second guess yourself, the sooner the tea learning happens, from what I've seen. Which sucks, because I like being right. And then Claudia says, it's also the greener the tea, the cooler in TCM terms, which is not good for your stomach. And we were talking about this, Claudia, earlier today. I tend to run cold. So these moist teas don't do good for me because I'm really cold. We can talk about this sometime, Claudia. We should talk about TCM and tea. I would really like to learn more about it because I can observe it in me, but I'd like to just learn more, right? Anyone else interested in TCM and tea? Even if you're not 100% invested into that frame of mind or thought framework, it's nice to kind of pull from it because most things are kind of right in their own way, right? You know? Yeah, I'm having fun. Sarah, it is a really fun way to explore tea. Once you drop the whole, I need to be right all the time, the world opens up and you can just be wrong all the time and still enjoy yourself. That's just me trying to stall, so if I get this wrong, it's okay. Hide underneath my cup. Yeah. Steven, do you feel good with this tea?
It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay too. I agree. I'm already bored. I liked it better at the beginning than I do now.
Do you want to make a guess?
Let's do this last steep here. This is infusion number 7. It's getting kind of tart. Something interesting came out there. Some nice sweetness, but I'm already bored. Let's check the dry leaves, you guys. Shiloh, if you're still here, which you're already here a lot, so thank you so much for always keeping me company and being my tea and ceramics and tea philosophy mentor. I have so many mentors, and I'm really happy about that. Okay, you wanted to see the serrated edges of the leaves. Are they more serrated or not? Look at how thin this leaf is. It's like pathetic. I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to call it tea pathetic because I'm sure there are good qualities to it, but it's so thin, I can almost see you guys through the leaf. That's how thin the leaves are. They're just sad. I feel like they were like harvested a little bit too much. Like whoever harvested them didn't let them grow enough or long enough. They're just weak. And they have this kind of papery texture to them. For those of you who didn't see us do this earlier. Ooh, that's a really important leaf to look at. High Mountain Oolong versus this. It's just so nice and supple. Oh, I tore that one, but it is still nice and supple. Trust me. It's got some more life to it. It feels alive. It comes back to life. This one here, I feel like I'm just torturing it more the more that I brew it out. And that's just an intuitive thing. Yeah, it's just thin. It's just sad. It just rips apart like my dog when she gets into toilet paper, you know? It just tears apart. Now, I think this is Jinxuan. That's what I think is Jinxuan. It's rounder. Now we can use the other tea. Am I allowed to use the other tea? So this is Qingxin. Sorry, Steven, you have no choice. This is Qingxin. You see how long it is? It's so long. Look how long it is. Versus this one, which I think is about the same position on the leaf. This one's more round. Just a little bit. Yeah, let's fold them over. And then you can see where this one, the darker colored one, is a Qingxin. It's a little bit longer. And then the Jinxuan is a little bit wider. And the ridges are even more serrated. That's what we're talking about. Even the tiny, tiny leaves have a lot of serration to them. The thing is that the older leaves, which I got excited about, become serrated when they get older. They just get easier to look at because they get bigger. But even these tiny leaves here have those ridges. Those little teeth on the side. And that's a Jinxuan characteristic. I think this is Jinxuan. Yeah. Nuev Orden, Shiloh says Qingxin has a smaller sawtooth ridge. Yes, it's smaller. This one's bigger, even the smaller leaves. Let's look at the leaf stuff. I'm having so much fun. Tea is sacred to me, but it's also fun, so I do both things. I just want to look at all the leaves this time. I made a mistake the first time of not doing this with the Shanlin. If I did this with the Shanlin, I would have known that it wasn't Jinxuan because the smaller leaves would have been too long. Now looking at these babies, they're really round. Look at how round they are. I think this is Jinxuan. I think this is Jinxuan. Yeah, I think I know what this is. Let me say hi to people first before I guess. And give me your energy and stuff. Joe, how's it going? How was fishing yesterday? I'm trying to fish for answers. Eli Amelie, welcome back. It's pretty late there in Tokyo, or really early. Yeah, and then Ralph Cheese, or Ralph Shiz, welcome to our blind tasting, where I'm about to make a guess on the second mystery tea for today. I think this is Maison de Toite's 1999 Jinxuan. Yes! Yes! Okay, cool. We got it. I'm like, I wonder if Steven made me guess this so I could say Maison de Toite on stream. So yes, it's unmistakable. I remember this tea was so awesome at first. I'm like, oh my god, what an amazing tea. And then it just became disappointing, which means we're going to the
tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker. It just means we have more tea. Yes. So Jeremy, wherever you are, Tawanak. Tawanak. Yes, we got it right. We even got the vendor right. I mean, that's not really impressive because it's the only 1999 Jinxuan I have. But this one, I felt like it was unmistakable from the very beginning. I remember the feeling of this tea. That's why Steven asked me earlier, what does this tea make you feel? And the same thing happened to me the first time I had this tea. I was so excited. There was so much hype. Because I bought this at the very tail end of my Paris trip. I literally run to the store in Paris, trying to figure out what, like where Rue Saint Medard meant. Like it was so hard to read the addresses on Google Maps, and Paris is not like a grid like Vegas is. They got like streets going around and stuff. So I was running to catch them before they closed, and the experience was just amazing at Maison de Toite. I gotta say, they really had an amazing menu. They were so knowledgeable. They were able to answer all my questions. I could have gotten anything from them. I like this tea at the beginning, but then it's just not interesting at the end. So, you know, yeah. Maybe I like their other tea that I got from them better. This one is just okay. But I think it is what it is. So what we said about it being an aged tea from the 90s was correct. We got the year right. We got the tea right. It's
The
cheating.
vendor correct.
The vendor correct. So yeah, it's a little bit cheating because I don't have any other 90s Jinchuan. So that's why I got the year right. It's not like I'm like 1998 or 1999. No, I just remember that I had this tea. But that roundness, that's what Jinchuan looks like, okay? And then the whole like becoming kind of red at the edges and then the sourness. Not all HT will look like this, but the kind of lower end, someone just forgot about it for a long time and then it became HT, happens a lot in Taiwan. So that's why this is this tea. Okay, Steven, you got another tea for me?
Yep.
Now he's gonna pick a hard one. Ah! I know what that is. I don't know what that is. Okay. Let's put this to the side. I will not bowl brew this. Is that mean? We can bowl brew it. Question mark. Maybe I'll pull something interesting from it later. I want to give it more of a chance, but I find that whenever I've had this tea, it's just not my favorite. It's interesting, but it's not my favorite.
Cold brew.
Yay! What?
Cold brew.
Yeah, I think that would be really, really, really good cold brew. Yeah, there's always a reason for teas. I'm not saying it's a bad tea. I've had much worse tea than that. It's just, it doesn't live up to the hype that I imagined it would be. And I've just had so many good aged teas, so that's why. 101! Steven's probably gonna pick a really difficult one. So sorry, I missed a bunch of like notes because I got excited. Joe's also got the update on his fishing adventures. He's got a ditch pickle. I like the name. I like the name of that fish. A ditch pickle. A largemouth bass. Okay. I used to like fishing when I was younger, so I don't do it anymore, but I get excited when people tell me about their fishing adventures. RB Ceramics and Amy from Amy, you gotta tell me what your shop name is. I don't want to mess it up. Le Bruit de Low? Low? Oh, I feel so low. Yeah. I just got excited about it. August and maybe Lisa, how's it going from the other side of the country? We just got the second mystery tea correct together. We're a team. Steven's by himself with Jeremy. And who else voted for Steven? I forgot. So you don't even know who's on your team. Henrique's on my team. Shiloh, did you vote for me? I think Shiloh voted for me too. I think Amy voted for me. Did Amy vote Steven? I forgot. Okay. Oh. Ugh. No thanks. That can cold brew. You guys down for tiebreaker? I think a tiebreaker would be really fun because that means I didn't get wiped by Steven. I think 2-1 is a lot better than 2-0. So, Steven, I'm glad I didn't wipe the floor with you. Because I love you and stuff. I don't want to beat you too badly, but I feel like you don't mind if I just lose. Which is good. You gotta have a toughie. Eli Amelie, I'm glad you're having fun. I heard that the same thing about in Japan. It's hard to find tea lovers there. I have a cousin who lives there, and when she comes to America to visit me, she's always like, why do you have Kyushu and stuff? It's so old-fashioned. She doesn't get it. Let's heat some water up.
Yeah, Charlotte voted for me.
No! It's okay. It's alright. Your doubt in me just makes me stronger! It doesn't. I actually like it when people are rooting for me. Because I don't root for myself. Oh, it's okay.
I'm rooting for you.
No, you're not. Because then if you were rooting for me, you would have given me something easy. And this looks very interesting. My intuition tells me it's Chinese, because we've done 2 Taiwanese and 0 Chinese. This is supposed to be Taiwanese and Chinese, you know? Yeah, we'll see. Okay. Are you guys ready? Yes, this is a game for me to make myself feel good about my blind tasting skills. Partially, but this is more of a practice for all of us, okay? Remember, it's 2 practice. I want you guys to look at the leaves with me. This honestly does look to me like it's Tiguanyin from China. It's got that kind of like coarse look to it, not as evenly rolled as some Taiwanese oolong. It does have some stems on it though, which tells me it's maybe like a older anshi roasted Tiguanyin. And roasted dongding doesn't look like this. It looks a little bit older. The leaves look a little bit dull. So I think it's aged. Just my initial thoughts, okay? Look how dull they look. They have a kind of grayish tint to them. And I'm glad that Instagram is showing it pretty accurately. They have a nice color, but they look a little bit grayed out, which to me reads as being aged. It's got some age on it. How does it feel? Remember, we're gonna kind of wait it out. It's got some heft to it, so even if it is aged, it's a pretty high quality tea. I think I know what this is already, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're running on adrenaline from our win, so don't get complacent, guys. It's not as oily as the Taiwanese High Mountain. I don't think it's a Taiwanese High Mountain. There are some roasted High Mountain teas from Taiwan. I don't think that's what it is. Let's stick to our intuition and test to see if it is an Anshi Tiguanyin that's been roasted. That's what I think it is. Okay? I don't know, but I'm gonna try working backwards. Is that okay? What do you guys think? I don't know. Any thoughts? I find that roasted Tiguanyin from China looks like this color. Yeah, it's just a little bit less warm looking than the Taiwan roasted oolongs. It doesn't look like dongding either. Dongding tends to be a little bit more evenly rolled. That's why. So, not as evenly rolled tells me it's Anshi Tiguanyin. Lesser stems too. The color tells me it's Anshi Tiguanyin because it's kind of like a mix of more roasted and unroasted. I find that the Taiwanese roasted oolongs tend to be a little bit more consistent. Often because in Taiwan they have mostly electric ovens. In China, sometimes they'll do a lot more charcoal roasting. There is charcoal roasted tea in Taiwan, but from what I've seen that it's a little bit darker than this. I don't think it's Muze Tiguanyin, but we'll see. That's actually a possibility. If it is Taiwanese, it's Muze Tiguanyin. I don't think it's dongding. Shiloh, why am I letting me help me? Why am I letting him help me? You didn't even vote for me. Lion, welcome to the chat. Did you vote for me? I hope you believe in me. It's okay. It's all funsies. You'll never hear from me again, Shiloh. But you'll hear again from Steven. Or you'll never hear from Steven again either. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, let's preheat this. We've still got some of the residue from the last tea in these cups. I want to make sure those are gone. So dry leaf, we think it's an Anshi Tiguanyin. Just looks like it. And Lion, we're on the tiebreaker of the friggin' mystery tea thing. We're supposed to only do 2 teas, but Steven won the first one. He won the first one, meaning he picked a tea I couldn't guess. It's an uphill battle for me. And I won the second one. I got the year, the cultivar, the place, and the vendor correct. I mean, it was... I only knew the year because I knew that was the only tea around that range of time. Yeah. So yeah, we've been doing pretty well. Ooh. Woo! Wow! Holy crap! Wow! That smells amazing. And smells like Anshi Tiguanyin. There's a lot going on with that. And, you know, the second one we had, the 1999 Jinshuan, had a nice sweetness and roastiness to it too. But this one is so complex. Like, really, really, really complex. Like, insane. I could smell this all day. Holy crap. It's like charcoaly. Wow, why is it charcoaly still? It looks like it's old. But if it's still charcoaly, I wonder how old it really is. I'm not sure yet. Sweet, there's like savory notes, umami notes, floral, fruity. It's got it all. Holy crap. That tells me it's probably charcoal roasted, because charcoal roasted teas tend to have an extra rah. They have so much going on because of the charcoal roasting step. Versus like electric roasted teas, a lot of the teas you find from Taiwan and cheaper roasted oolongs from China will be electric roasted. They kind of put them in an oven that looks like a refrigerator. They slide the tray in and they close it. It's more like an oven. It's not bad. It's more consistent. It's easier for people who don't want to deal with charcoal roasting to roast consistent tea like that. And overall, I think even in the hands of a really skilled tea maker, it's more consistent, period. But charcoal roasting just has that extra complexity. So I think this is a charcoal roasted oolong. It could be Taiwan, it could be China. I'm leaning towards China. We'll hit it with some really hot water. Wow, it brews up immediately. Holy crap. I think this is a good one, guys. I can just see it. Flash steep this baby. Joe says a baker's oven. Yes, it does look like a baker's oven. I used to reel those around when I was working at the casino. Like they would, I'm not even supposed to do baking stuff, but they would make me like push the pastries from the kitchens to the deli where I worked. So yes, it looks a lot like a baker's oven. Correct. Yeah. And yeah, look at your tea. There's so many things your tea can tell you without looking at the label. Okay. Holy crap. Steven, this is a really good tea. Actually, nah, it's not good. No, it's really good. Holy crap. It's sweet, fruity, so much texture immediately. Holy crap. Wow. You know what? I think it's an anti-Tiguanyin, but another option is a charcoal roasted high mountain oolong too. It's possible. We'll have to see as it develops over time. I'm gonna leave this sitting for a little bit. It's so sweet, so fruity. And then just like the second tea, we will see if this continues to develop in complexity or if it's just sexy at the beginning and then it goes downhill, right? We can tell if it's a better tea or a worse tea. Okay. There's so much going on with this tea. Holy crap. Wow. And it feels really good. Are you trying to like make me too mellowed out to guess? This is a very relaxing tea. You can feel it everywhere. Whereas like the ginseng we had earlier kind of stayed here. That's a Showenism and a Eric from Tea Sleuthism that I've learned. And a lot of different people too from other places. Find like a lot of the really deep end tea people talk about the position of the tea in the body. And yeah, this one's just everywhere. Wow. Let's see if it changes, okay? Another thing, trust yourself in what your tea experience usually tells you. When a tea is really good, I take a couple sips and I'm done. Because it's just so good. Like I don't need any more of it. This is one of those teas where I've taken 3 sips and I'm already like, I could just go home. I'm already home, but like I could just stop it there and be just so amazed by this tea that I'm satisfied. Holy crap. Wow. That's insane. Wow. That's really good. I don't know what it is though. Still think it's charcoal roasted. We need to figure out if it's Chinese roasted oolong or Taiwanese roasted oolong. We have had 2 Taiwanese so far. So maybe just by the process of elimination, Steven hasn't given us a Chinese one yet. Maybe it is Chinese. What do you guys think? Shiloh from Nuev Orden guessed that it's a Tiguanyin, traditional Tiguanyin. I'm inclined to believe that as well. Let's look at the unfurled leaves. I'm trying not to open the Gaiwan lid too much because we've learned that the lid should stay on if you want a more consistent steep, but that's okay. We can look at it. Stammy. Ooh, it's got the little like pokies that I see a lot in Tiguanyin. Like Tiguanyin tends to have this kind of like small little throat and like just these, I don't know what you call these, like the little buds that come out tend to be very Tiguanian to me. And Tiguanian tends to have like a throat at the very base of the leaf, and I'm seeing that. I think it's a Tiguanian, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. We'll see. They look kind of like, they look really curly, which to me reminds me of Anshi Tiguanian. Tends a little bit more curly like this. Okay, so Shiloh is asking, is it more egg custard or egg yolk? Egg custard, to me, which reminds me of Taiwan. Okay? Egg custard to me reads as Taiwanese high mountain. We'll see. This is so tasty. I feel like I'm sinking into a hot bath of oolong. Wow. This is Steven's strategy. He's gonna bring a really, really good tea to the table, knowing I'm gonna chill out. Because when we have a tea that's this good, I don't even want to guess or think. I just want to like relax, which is not my natural state. I'm usually very hyped up and, you know, more anxious and more thinky. This is more like a feelsy tea. You hate it, don't you, Steven? It tastes like Tiguanian. It's got the kind of like, you know, roasted Tiguanian has a kind of soury, almost like you roasted an orchid kind of flavor. So light Tiguanian from China tends to have an orchidy taste that goes away when they're roasted. And I think it shows up again as kind of this tart, tiny, like flowery, kind of rusty taste. Yeah. It looks like Tiguanian to me too. See, now I don't know if Shiloh's telling me what he thinks it is to kind of lead me astray, because he did vote for you. I don't know. I'd like to think that you're leading me the right path. Ooh, charcoaly still. Holy crap. Okay. This tea is very warm as well. Wow. Okay. Mel, how's it going? I'm getting really chilled out. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it is very stemmy. And yeah, I'm living through my facial expressions too, because it's my face. I have no choice. This tea is really satisfying. I can't drink it that fast. Wow. Holy crap, what is this? See, I'm gonna leave this much for Steven, because I'm already done with that tea. No, I need to taste more of it. I need to force myself. Yeah, it's got that tart kind of thing that a lot of Iron Goddess has when it's roasted. I don't think it's dongding. I think we can rule out dongding. I like it. It tastes more fresh than I thought it would be, though. So I don't know. Shiloh, when you're asking me egg custard versus egg yolk, can you explain why you asked me that question? And also, why do you think it looks like Tiguanian processing? I bet if you rewind the replay, if you just fast forward it, I mean, you can kind of see the effect of the tea on me, because now I'm slowing down. I'm like chilling out. It's really relaxing. Wow. So let's try to focus. Steven's trying to throw me off by giving me a really relaxing tea. What a dick. I think this is early 2010s roasted Anshi Tiguanian so far. It kind of tastes too fresh, though, to be aged. I don't know why it's so charcoaly. So either it's a tea that I've kept sealed for a long time, that's why it's still so fiery. Like, I can taste the fire taste. That's what the processors call that roasted taste. But it's not eclipsing the tea. It's really good. Steven, you okay? Do you like this? Do you not like it?
I'm trying to not give you any hints.
Steven's also got his forehead on the laptop. So I'm just like, wow. Just tell me if you like it or not. No, you won't tell. Okay, fine. Ty loves tea. Welcome to our mystery tea tasting. Round 3, the tiebreaker. 1-1. Oh no, Steven's suffering. I'm not suffering. Okay, Sarah Wood, thanks for hanging out with us. And like, dealing with this with us. And then Shiloh says, half twisted and crumbled leaf is definite sign of Tigwanian processing. I agree. That's probably why it looks Tigwanian to me. It's like twisty, but also kind of not. I think the Taiwan stuff tends to unfurl a different way. Yeah, I think this is Chinese. Also, egg yolk taste to me is a sure giveaway of Tigwanian, more modern though. I think it's, yeah, it does have an egg taste to it. I think. Mel, I want some. She says, I love custardy teas. I love custardy teas too. This is not quite custardy, but there is a hint of it there. For sure. Roasty. Wow, that's roasty. I almost want to guess what it is already. I don't think it's Taiwan. It's making me really hot. I'm like, Steven, hold my hand. I'm hot.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like a furnace right now. I wish Claudia was still here. I'm not sure if you're still there, Claudia, from Tea Epiphany. I'm like a furnace right now, and I tend to run cold, but I'm hot. Steven, don't...
I'm looking for water.
Oh, I thought you were going to open the window. But yeah, we've been tasting these teas together with the help of some friends. We're 1-1 right now. Steven won the first round. I guess it was an Alishan High Mountain. Jinchuan. Ooh, Steven's eating food. Steven doesn't like it as much as I do. For me, when someone's eating food, when they're drinking tea, it's not agreeing with them. Steven doesn't like to eat food. So this is not agreeing with Steven, but it's agreeing with me, which is not a lot of teas that do that. I like it. Then again, Steven tends to like to take colder showers than I do. I like them like 7th level of hell kind of hot, so maybe just a little bit too warm. It's warming. Holy
Do you want some grapes?
I don't. Okay. So yeah, I thought it was an Alishan High Mountain, but it's actually a Shanlinshi High Mountain. And then the second one I got right. Mel, it's from a place that you know, Maison de Toité in Paris. So I pinpointed that tea, cultivar, the vendor, etc. Got that right, just blew it out of the water. This is a tiebreaker now. So we'll see. Kamakai, welcome to the tasting. And Martin from 80 Degrees, Read 80. Welcome to the tasting as well. We're doing a blind tasting. I'm at 1-1. Got one wrong, got one right. This is a tiebreaker right now. Yeah. Sarah, I'm stoked to be tuned in. This is fun to hang out with during tea sessions. Thank you. I really appreciate that you're having fun. I have a lot of fun doing these, so it makes me happy that people have fun too. It's a little bit challenging, a little bit of a deep dive, but I think that's okay. Deep diving is good, right? Second steep of this Tigwanian. I'm already burning up. I'm burning up. I know I said steep of this Tigwanian. We don't know what it is yet. We think it's a Chinese Tigwanian. It doesn't read to me as being Taiwanese. It's not as savory as Taiwan. There's a bit of that floral kind of irony thing I get from roasted Tigwanian. From what I understand, that's why Tigwanian is called Iron Goddess, is because it used to be more roasted like this, right? You know, the whole like, oh, it used to be more roasted and now it's more modern and nuclear green. The oxidation's higher. It's processed to be more floral and fragrant because that's what people like right now. But in the past, it used to be more roasted like this. And it has a kind of almost metallic, like tardy, sour taste. And that's where the tie, the iron in the Iron Goddess comes from. I don't know if that's right or not. I tend to not believe like tea myths like that until I can go to that place and ask the people, hey, is that true? Because even when I ask them that, a lot of them are like, oh, we've never heard that version. You know? So, yeah. And Sarah's asking where we're from. We're from Las Vegas. Joe, we're not in LA. Those guys have a lot of traffic. We don't want their traffic. We're Vegas. So, very close to LA. We're about 4 hours away from LA. But if California decides to break away from the rest of the United States, yes, we are LA. Yeah. Okay. Shiloh, correct, traditional is earthier. It's got a little bit more earthy for sure. I do have some traditional Tiguanyin in my closet, so I think we are indeed in the right direction. Yeah. Okay. This is really warm. Steven doesn't like it. That's interesting. I wonder why he doesn't like it.
Give you hints.
So Steven is spamming grapes off camera. This kid does not usually eat food when we're drinking good tea. He only drinks food. He only eats food when he's drinking a tea he doesn't really like that much. He's trying not to give me hints, but he can't help it. His body's just reacting a certain way. But I like it. This is how you can see people are different. We tend to agree a lot on the teas we like, but I notice with roasted tea, sometimes we don't. Like that one. There we go. Cool. We're back. I lost you guys for a second. Okay, we're back again. I almost lost you guys. No, come back. Alright. Yeah. Let's see. Martin says, how's the Celsius temperature measuring going? Great! We started in Celsius today. And I'm brewing the tea at 93 degrees Celsius right now. 95 degrees Celsius. I think I just boiled it. So 95 degrees Celsius. That's 208 degrees, 205 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. The reason why I'm trying to do Celsius is, for funsies, but also because I think most of the world is in Celsius. I feel bad about having to ask our Canadian friends, our French friends, our Japanese friends, our Brazilian friends, all of our other friends to talk in Fahrenheit when the United States is the only thing in Fahrenheit. And my favorite tea magazine is in Celsius. How does that even work? Martin couldn't have read 175 degrees on his Instagram handle. I'm sure it wouldn't look as good on a magazine cover too. So I'm enjoying learning about Celsius just to be a little bit more, less American about it. Shiloh, it's not really done anymore. Sohan Fan from West China Tea found one traditional Tiguanyin producer and it had an iron sweetness. Yes, this is not very usual at all. So if this is what I think it is, there's only a couple things I can think of in my stash that this could be. I think I have a Tea Masters charcoal Tiguanyin. I have one from Yunnan Sourcing. I have one from Chinese Tea Shop in Vancouver. I think I gave that one away though. Yeah, so I don't think it's that. I'm looking at Steven to see if he'll give away some clues, but I'm trying to just use our...
supposed to use me as a reference.
I know. Lion, I'm eating omurice. Sounds really good. And drinking cold brew sencha while watching. Thanks for doing that. I'm gonna have some ochazuke after this, that's for sure. We're taking the photos for
We
it.
have about 6 minutes.
We have 6 minutes. It's been 2 hours already. We'll make a guess before that time. Steven wants me to lose. So let's stick to what we know. The only other charcoal roasted thing in my collection I can think of is a charcoal roasted Jade Mountain. I don't think this is it, because that charcoal roasted Jade Mountain is a lot sweeter than this and a lot more fruity. When I get stone fruit like peach, yellow peach, like mango, tropical fruit going on in a big abundance of it, I think Taiwan. I don't think this is Taiwanese. I don't think it's High Mountain. It doesn't have that expansive Taiwanese taste, it just goes... High Mountain tea to me is pretty unmistakable. I'm lucky to have studied it quite a bit. So it doesn't read to me like High Mountain. To be sure, I've gotten it wrong before, but the best we can do is try our best. And my best tells me this is not Taiwan, this is not High Mountain. I think it's Tiguanyin. Then, it's very complex, and that to me said it's charcoal roasted, because electric roasted tends to have this kind of one note fire taste to it, one note sweetness. It's not as different. There's so many things going on with this tea, and I think that tells me it's charcoal roasted, which connects with our other guess that it's China, because charcoal roast is more common in China. Okay? And then looking at the leaves, they looked more Chinese to me. Let's take a look at these. Shiloh wanted to look at the unfurled leaves. I'm gonna bust them out because we need to finish before we hit the hour on the second hour. They look more squiggly to me, you know, and that tells me it's Tieguanyin. I find that Tieguanyin looks more squiggly, a little bit more like vegetables than Taiwanese oolongs do. And none of the savory, buttery, fruity stuff from Taiwan is coming through. So I think, again, it's Tieguanyin. Yeah. Let's see. And another thing, it's got the green and red thing going on. So green and red in the same leaf pile. That to me is very Chinese. They tend to have like more of a variation in the colors of the leaves than Taiwanese tea does. Yeah, it just looks more Tieguanyin to me. Shiloh, you with me on this? You're not supposed to help me because you voted for Steven, but I'm going to put my trust in you. And then let's look at the cut stems. The cut stems look like they've been razor cut, which is interesting. They've been cut really cleanly. That's weird. Does that mean it's been machine cut? I'm not sure. Let's dump the leaves onto the table here and look at them a little bit more closely. They look like Tieguanyin to me. So for being so green, it's quite roasty. I like it, Steven doesn't. We have disagreed about
I haven't said anything about the tea.
You've been spamming grapes. This kid eats food when he doesn't like it, or it makes him uncomfortable. I saw him at one point like put his forehead to the to the table. He just can't help himself. But I don't even think that helps me any more than my own guest does. Looks like Tieguanyin to me. Tieguanyin kind of has this almost like pathetic looking look to it. It's one of the older tea cultivars. A lot of the newer stuff looks a little bit more pretty. Yeah, it's got that rustic look. So let's make a guess because we're running out of time. So Teagram Sweden, Mad Hatter Tea Drunk, where I talk to the world. Welcome back. And Prune 21. I'm about to make a guess on our last mystery tea. Chinese or Taiwanese oolong only, bald oolong only. We've been helping each other kind of figure things out. Got the first one wrong, second one right on the dot. I wish I had more time to do this. But this really, really twisty looking roasty tea, very complex, doesn't seem Taiwanese. I think it's Chinese. Looks like Anshi Tieguanyin to me, but the older style. I think this is... Now, which one is it from the stash? Do I have to guess the year? I don't even have to guess the vendor. I think it's okay. I think this is traditional charcoal roasted Tieguanyin from China. I hate you. I really hate you.
It's Lishan.
It's Lishan. It's Tieguanyin, but it's not China.
And they don't say charcoal roasted, so I'm assuming it's not.
I'm really sad. It's Taiwan. Screw you for doing 3 Taiwanese teas in a row. Okay. Songtea's Red Water Tieguanyin. Screw you, Steven. This is a Tieguanyin cultivar, so we got the Tieguanyin right. Grown on Lishan at 2,000 meters above sea level, it does not read to me like high mountain. Crafted in the style of traditional Tieguanyin. So we got the style right, we just didn't get the place right. It's across the ocean in Taiwan. So Steven, being an asshole, did 3 different Taiwanese teas. I know, how dare he! And it's from Lishan in Taiwan, but it's a traditional Anshi Tieguanyin style. Why? We were so close, but we didn't get it right. So Steven wins. I know, right? That's a tricky one. That's so similar. Anyway, let's go cry together really quick. It's not gonna be another hour, but I just wanted to wrap up for the sake of our replay and for people who are going through this together, and so I'm not running away from the fact I didn't get the last one right. So this last one, which is a tiebreaker tea, was a red water tea guanyin from Song Tea. Our guess was traditional anshi tea guanyin from China. So just to wrap up, we got the country wrong. It is Taiwan. Steven, being a bitch, decided to do 3 Taiwanese teas today, so that's part of it too. Our guess was Chinese anshi tea guanyin. This is a Taiwanese lishan that even the label says is crafted in the manner of traditional tea guanyins from Anxi in China. So we got the country wrong. We got the style right, we got the cultivar right, but without the country, I don't think it counts. I'm kind of surprised because to me it doesn't read as a high mountain. I know high mountain teas pretty well, and I did think there was a possibility that it was a charcoal roasted high mountain. But I just didn't, I don't drink this tea a lot. I like it a lot, I really do. But yeah, we just got it wrong in terms of the area. So it just goes to show that just going in the, different place with similar processing can make the tea look pretty similar. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But we got the cultivar right, we got the processing right, we got the style right, just not the place. So I don't think it counts. Anyway, we're not going to go for another hour. Let me know if you have any questions about this. I feel like I hit it so close and yet so far. It's so close, but then there's the strait dividing Taiwan and China between me and the right answer. Just to wrap up, Shiloh, you tasted Taiwanese notes though. It didn't taste Taiwanese to me. Nothing in my gut told me this was Taiwanese. It looked Anshi tea guanyin to me. It felt Anshi tea guanyin to me. Maybe the maker is from China. Maybe that's why it gets so close. So I'd like to see what the details are. Regardless, I was wrong. And it was tricky. But that's why it's fun to do these blind tastings, because once you get a lot of practice in, you can even kind of like get those tricky ones correct. I don't know what I would have done differently to read this as Taiwanese. Maybe just more tasting. So that just shows me there's a big gap there in my tasting. I need to try more tea guanyin from high mountain areas. I don't drink a lot of tea guanyin from high mountain areas. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Any questions, let me know. Thoughts? Steven, cheers. You're welcome, Steven. On the Discord, we'll see you. On Instagram DMs, we'll see you. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. 1 to 2 goes to Steven. Okay, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, Discord hangout tomorrow too, after the live. See you guys. Bye. Bye.